it just goes to show you that these former government officials have now created this private company called Beacon Global Strategies.
Beacon Global
Yeah.
Strategies.
And what they do is they basically connect arms dealers with U.S. politicians and also prospective buyers of those arms. Okay.
Correct.
And this Andrew Shapiro, he wrote an op-ed in Defense News, and listen to what he wrote. I found this to be just shocking and kind of sickening. So he writes, over the past decade, U.S. defense exports through the Foreign Military Sales System have steadily grown. They've grown at a compound annual growth rate of 7.7% from fiscal 2006 through 2014. And while the growth includes large sales, such as a record-setting arms package to Saudi Arabia in 2012, the increase is a long-term trend not dependent on any one sale. And then he says, looking ahead, U.S. defense companies are poised to continue their growth in international sales. The Obama administration is emphasizing building partner capacity in regions racked by conflict or terrorist threats, okay? And he continues.
So the only thing we make in America anymore
Yes.
is bombs, right? Military stuff. And so this is all about how they're setting up foreign governments with our politicians to get arms sold by America to them. Now, there's a big problem because we're selling all these arms to Saudi Arabia, and Saudi Arabia is now in Yemen killing innocent people and children, right? And go ahead.
Yeah, so listen to this. He sounds downright giddy. He says, U.S. government efforts aside, growing instability around the world has made U.S. partners and allies increasingly value the capabilities and interoperability that U.S. platforms provide. This has become even more apparent in recent weeks as the UAE, Jordanian, and Egyptian militaries have stepped up to conduct airstrikes against ISIS targets. The rise of ISIS throughout the Middle East over the past year, and the ability of groups like Boko Haram to thrive in areas with less able militaries have focused many militaries in the Middle East and North Africa on the need to invest in the counterterrorism capabilities they need to confront these networks. And while it says, while Middle East customers were the primary focus, there's also Russia's proxy war against Ukraine, and larger efforts to expand its influence in Eastern Europe have resulted in long overdue focus by the Pentagon on how to use security assistance to reassure countries in the region that the U.S. will provide for their security.
So tell me what.
Hold on, it continues. As tensions reach post-Cold War high with one near-peer nation, Asia faces security challenges of its own as North Korea becomes more unpredictable. And he continues. And then he says, that's a quote that you had, some U.S. defense firms have learned to crack the code to increase sales. And he continues, in addition, it says, with continued effort and smart strategy, foreign military sales will continue to increase in the years to come. Look, this is just a giant admission that these guys employed by our government to run our foreign policy and to deal with threats abroad, they are excited and just supremely giddy about the prospects of selling arms into these regions.
So, like, thank God for ISIS and Boko Haram.
They love ISIS. They love Boko Haram.
They love destabilization of the Middle East.
And bringing us back to Cold War heights with Russia.
So this is what and so now David Sirota and the IB, International Business Times, wanted to get the emails from Hillary when she was at State Department and from those to see what nefarious stuff are they actually doing? Yeah. Like what kind of quid pro quos are they doing? What kind of go ahead.
Yeah, so it's the emails, it's the schedule, it's to see who is meeting with whom.
Right.
What is happening here, right? So we're entitled to know that stuff.
We're entitled to know what our State Department is doing.
So I love this story because this story encapsulates all that is wrong with our system. Everything, right? Everything from the lack of transparency, the money in politics, the destabilizing the world so that we can have endless war. It all comes together in this one story.